Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
To some, this is just a ball. To Iowa Farm Bureau, it's much more. It's opportunity for small-town kids to make it big. It's our youth, our community leaders, our past, our future. It's hopes and dreams, passion and pride. To Iowa Farm Bureau, this is the reason we work so hard. This is Iowa. Iowa Farm Bureau. People, progress, and pride.
Afternoon and welcome to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa, home of the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Alongside Laura Leonard, I'm Larry Morgan. In just a moment, we'll have the matchup between the 2nd seed, the Ballard Bombers, and the 7th seed, the Harlan Cyclones, here in the 4A quarterfinals right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Ballard comes in with a glittering 21-1 record and a 5-game winning streak, and they are a team that is very strong defensively, Laura.
Well, they really are. They're number 1 in 4A as far as points given up. They're number 2 in all classes in the entire state. They only give up right around 28 points a ball game, so defense has won a lot of ball games for them this year.
Harlan comes in with a 7-game winning streak and a 17-5 overall record. And they're a team that also is pretty good defensively.
Yeah, they are as well. And they give up about 46 points a game, and they're averaging close to 60. So they have a nice balance of offense and defense. 2
veteran state tournament teams. For Ballard, their 15th appearance. For Harlan, their 14th. Let's take a look at our road to state.
You can see there that the Bombers, they defeated North Polk. That's the team they lost to in the regular season, so avenge that loss. And they're ranked number 2 here in the 4A rankings. And then the Harlan Cyclones, they defeated Denison Schleswig, making their 14th appearance here at the state tournament. Harlan is a team that gets here often.
Harlan, in fact, has won the state championship as recently as 2015, winning back-to-back in 14 and 15. When we come back, we'll dive deeper into what these two teams will need to do to win today's game with our Kruger Seeds for Success. Plus, we'll have your starting lineups as we get set for tip-off. You're watching the 2021 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
And that's halftime, folks. I'm Gus Johnson, and it looks like the Clarks are starving. Over to Dad.
He goes for the Casey's app.
2 handmade pizzas.
Incredible! Casey's curbside pickup. What a play! Bringing it home. Boom! He scores with Casey's Pizza. Order any large Casey's pizza. Score another for just $5.99.
Casey's for the win.
Laura, time to take a look at our seeds for success.
Well, what Harlan needs to do is they need to be more physical. They're small in size, but they don't want to get pushed around, so they have to play a little bit bigger than their size, and they need to own the paint, not just on offense, but defensively. They want to make sure they're trying to move Ballard towards the baseline and look for a little bit of help. And then for Ballard, they need to value the basketball. They don't want to turn it over. They only turn it over 9 times a game, so they need to stay in lockstep with what they've done all season long. And they want to control the tempo, run when they have the opportunities to run, but slow it down and set up when they need to.
Today's Seeds for Success were brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at KrugerSeed.com. Earlier today, Glenwood, the top-rated and top-ranked team in the state, advanced with a 79-57 victory over Dubuque Wahlert Catholic, so they will take on a North Scott team that knocked off Central DeWitt by a score of 58-45 in the just completed game. So we have the top half of the 4A quarterfinals complete.
We do, and just a little bit of a mild upset in that second game with North Scott winning that ball game, but you know what? They're the defending state's champions 2 times, so they know what they need to do to take care of business here to get to the championship game.
We'll take our final break before tip-off, and when we come back, we'll have your team introductions and starting lineups for this tournament matchup. You're watching Girls State Basketball presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fareway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
It guides me home. I got it. You're my favorite.
Fareway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
The Iowa Bankers Association is proud to help students reach their goals both financially and educationally. That's why they're honored to provide 5 student athletes from this year's basketball tournament with $1,000 scholarships. Follow their Facebook page, facebook.com/Iowa Bankers, to see the winners. Ballard, with a record of 21-1, champs of the Raccoon River Conference, take on the Harlan Cyclones, a team that themselves had to post a bit of a mild upset to reach the state tournament.
Well, you know, you always see those things happen, and just the way the pairings go, and you have to be on top of your game. Doesn't matter who you get matched up with in that regional final. You have to be better than they are, and that's exactly what Harlan did. They were able to win and advance to state,
knocking off the Denison Schleswig team that had beaten them twice during the regular season. And now it is time to go courtside as we introduce our public address announcer for this 4A quarterfinal game, Rex Baker.
Fans, welcome to today's 2021 Girls State Basketball quarterfinal matchup featuring the Harlan Cyclones and the Ballard Bombers. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Harlan High School and Ballard High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Kylie Cashman, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school's scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Harlan High School, Connie Colas. And from Ballard High School, Steve Steele.
The definition of sportsmanship is the quality of showing fairness, respect, and generosity towards the opposing team and officials.
Things you say and do are a direct reflection of your school and community. Please stay positive and enjoy the game.
Please stay positive and enjoy the game.
First, the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Harlan Cyclones. Number 3, Shelby Sisson. Number 21, Macy Schmitz. Number 23, Reagan Wicks. Number 31, Caitlin Linen. Number 41, Bryn Clausen. Number 43, Jordan Hazy. And number 45, Julia Scheckinger. The assistant coaches for the Cyclones, Mark Cohorst, Sam Brummer, and Ellie Klaver. And now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Ballard Bombers. Number 14, Peyton Noe. Number 24, Kylie Rigby. Number 30, Lily Beal. Number 32, Sydney Briggs. Number 34, Paige Noe. Number 40, Ashley Wustenberg. And number 44, Lily Hillebrand. The assistant coaches for the Bombers, Kelvin Adams, Nathan Smith, and Darren Harold. And now, let's meet your starters for both teams. First, for the Cyclones, number 5, Jocelyn Cheek. For the Bombers, number 10, Brooke Levy. For the Cyclones, number 11, Claire Schmitz. And for the Bombers, number 12, Meg Reitz. For the Cyclones, number 15, Ashley Hall. And for the Bombers, number 20, Cassidy Thompson. For the Cyclones, number 25, Brecken Van Balla. For the Bombers, number 22, Josie Fleshman. For the Cyclones, number 33, Macy Linen. And for the Bombers, number 42, Molly Eiley. Head coach for the Cyclones is Zach Clausen. And for the Bombers, Kelly Anderson. Ladies
and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area in front of the scorer's table for the introduction of the officials as assigned by the IGHSAU. Christopher Thomas, Jason Alon.
Okay, Laura, can I talk to Laura for a second? Fans, the Iowa Bankers Association is proud to help students reach their goals, both financially and educationally. That's why they're honored to provide 5 student athletes from this year's basketball tournament with $1,000 scholarships. Follow their Facebook page, facebook.com/Iowa Bankers, to see the winners. And before we begin today's game, we'd like to once again thank Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa. I'd like to thank the offices listed on your screen for their support and for the 2 teams playing the game today. Thank you, for Iowa Farm Bureau, supporting the Iowa girl. Harlan's in red, Ballard is in white. We are underway. And inbounding is Ashley Hall, the 5'6" senior, who is one of the state's leading passers, as she averages almost 5 assists a game.
And they want the ball in her hands. Let her set the table for the offense and get things going.
Harlan runs a weave at the top. Hall looks inside, nothing going, so Jocelyn Cheek brings it back outside. Spinning into the lane is Macy Linen, but losing it, however, last touched by the Bombers.
Brooke Levy dug down, dropped down, helped defensively, got a hand on that, knocked it out of bounds.
Hall with the inbounds trigger to Cheek. Cheek, an outstanding three-point shooter, hit 57 of them during the season, which was a school record. She has the ball in her hands now.
And you have to watch out for her because 83% of her shots come from beyond the arc. So you know where to find her. She's not going to venture inside too often.
Ball poked away, but picked back up by Claire Schmitz. It falls short, and Brooke Levy with the rebound for the Ballard Bombers. They average 49.8 per game, and Harlan averages 59.9. So that gives you an idea of the tempo the teams want to play at. Levy with the ball in the corner. The skip pass over the zone to a 3 try that will not go by Josie Fleshman.
Nice little skip pass. That was a one-handed fastball over the top of the zone. They just couldn't convert, and good crash of the boards by Van Balla.
And that's something that this team does very well, and that's rebound, especially at the offensive end. And the game's first foul is called as Jocelyn Cheek tries to put up a shot. And it's whistled against Cassidy Thompson.
You know, both of these teams are going to go to the glass hard. And we've talked about it before in games that you go to the glass, you get an offensive rebound, maybe 4 or 5 of them a game. That's 4 or 5 extra possessions that you get the opportunity to try to score.
Schmitz averages 11 points and 8 rebounds for the Cyclones. And she gives Harlan the first point in the game. Molly Eiley, the 5'6" senior, a 4-year starter at point guard, bringing it up for Ballard.
She is their floor general, and she will get things moving. They're going to play next year at Minnesota State.
Cyclones setting up in a 2-3 zone. Eiley's shot is short. The rebound is grabbed by Schmitz. She gets it back to Ashley Hall. Hall is third in 4A in assists at those 4.8 per. She has 101 assists this season coming in. Here's Cheek trying her first 3. We told you she's an outstanding 3-point shooter, and she indicates it right there on the first Harlan basket.
And they say she's best when she's in rhythm, and that one she did catch in rhythm, ready to shoot.
Straddling the midcourt line is Van Balla, but she knew it and waited patiently to get it into the offensive end.
Boy, a little contortionist right there. As they backwards, forwards, toeing the line, but waited, as you said, patiently for a teammate to help out.
Got the job done. Shot launched by Van Balla won't go, and a scrap for the rebound. And a foul called out on the floor.
Right now, Harlan's winning the battle of the glass. They're doing a great job of boxing out on both ends, especially on the offensive end.
And Cassidy Thompson picks up her second early foul, and so she will leave the lineup to be replaced by Sydney Briggs, a 6-foot senior. Where's number 32? Hall to inbound. Early lead for the Cyclones. They try to make it more, and there's a tie-up. Nice job by Reach to get in there and tie it up, and the alternating possession gives the Bombers their first chance to score.
You bring that ball down around your waist, and the defender's going to take the opportunity to try to grab it, strip you of it, or tie you up.
Lily Hillebrand, an early entry into the lineup for Ballard. She's number 44. The lob intended for Reitz, but recovered. Levy fires from a step down the lane. And the rebound is taken by Eiley. Three-pointer try, Levy.
So the first shot for Levy, a little too close for her. So she steps back out behind the three-point line and calmly knocks it down.
And really not known as a three-point shooter, but she knocked that one down with no problem.
Looked good on that shot.
That she did. And there's another jump ball, a tie ball on the 5-second violation. This time Harlan will play it in.
Well, and Hall picked it up and kept that ball right out in front. And Eiley right there to tie her up.
Macy Linen triggers. The set shot won't go by Van Balla. The ball caroms out of bounds, and it belongs to Ballard. Ballard ranked second in the state, seeded number 2 in the tournament. Behind Glenwood, we mentioned earlier this afternoon, they posted a 79-57 quarterfinal victory over Dubuque Wahlert Catholic. Reitz kicks for Hillebrand. It's short, and the rebound comes down to Reitz.
So they're finding a gap right in the middle of that zone and then kicking it back out to the shooters.
Both teams showing zone so far as Eiley handles the basketball and handles it extremely well. As you mentioned, Ballard likes to run, but when they don't get the break, they can be patient.
And they're being very patient and really just waiting, looking to see if they can find a gap. But they need to have a little bit more ball movement to get that defense moving. Right now, defense is stationary, just kind of moving side to side. Got to have some movement to get them out of position and be able to dish or take the ball all the way to the rim.
Reagan Wicks checks in, as does Macy Linen for Harlan. Substitutions today brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Jocelyn Cheek will bring it up with some backcourt pressure. Caitlin Linen is there to help. And across the half-court line comes Van Balla, and she is trapped. Looks to get out of that trap. Time being counted off against her, and she winds up turning it over.
And that's where that pressure comes. They let you get it into the front court, and then they double up and cause problems.
From the baseline, a notion of a shot, but instead, Lady found somebody underneath with a better opportunity and sent it to Briggs, and Briggs scores it.
What a great look. As Levy takes it on the baseline side, the defense rotates over. She looks up, and she's able to find Briggs right there, and what a great finish.
Schmitz gets the foul. Briggs misfires on the free throw, but the Bombers keep it. Eiley cuts quickly into the lane, takes it to the rack. The rebound is cleared by Claire Schmitz. Brecken Van Balla, member of the Academic All-State team, brings it ahead for the Cyclones. Lob inside, intended for Schmitz, but she was double-teamed, and the turnover gives Ballard a chance to extend their lead.
Oh.
A big rejection by Schmitz.
Wow, that's a statement block right there. That was, don't come into my house, get that out of here.
Harlan will bring Ashley Hall, a starter, back onto the court. And also back in is Macy Lynan, the starter, IMT, bringing you today's insurance, or substitutes, IMT Insurance. Reitz triggers for Levy. Reitz fires a three. And a big scrap on the rebound. That time Fleischman got in trying to tie up Harlan. Good effort by her. And at the midcourt line, the ball rejected out of bounds by Fleischman.
So if you're Harlan, you just have to protect the ball all the time because this pressure is going to be on you. And if they get up and are right there in your face, see if you can get a screen, see if you can put the ball on the floor and drive by the defense, and look for some back doors to try to get them to loosen up a little bit.
Reagan Wicks picks up her dribble. Lynan, nothing going there. Here's Hall. And again, Harlan's going to be patient. They know they need to be precise against this swarming defense of Ballard.
And they do keep trying. They do try to penetrate, but the defense is right there step for step. So bring it back out and reset. See what else you can find.
Low-scoring game as we near the final minute of the first quarter. The penetration is there by Lynan, Macy Lynan. A nice job of being patient and taking advantage of it.
And it paid off.
Levy misses off the glass. Lynan there for the rebound. The 5'10 senior making her presence felt early.
Lynan doing a good job retreating in defense. She's the one that scored and got back, and she was able to pull the rebound and get them going the other way.
Lynan certainly helped this team get to the state tournament with a 17-point, 10 rebound performance against Denison Schleswig. Final minute, first quarter. Harlan up by one. Reitz with the kick. Levy open for three. It's short. Reitz runs down the rebound.
Boy, and a smart play by Eiley. She called for the ball and said, time's winding down. Let's get the last shot of the quarter.
A low-scoring matchup, 6-5. Harlan, as Ballard sees the clock roll down to 10 seconds. Eiley moves it quickly on the skip to Levy, who will crank a three that won't go. It's a rebound by Harlan. She throws it up, trying to get close to the rim, not there. And at the end of one quarter, 11 points have been scored in a very tight, bruising defensive battle. And at the end of one, it is Harlan 6 and Ballard 5. We'll be right back with more basketball. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs in building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
At Central College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
Central College has a tuition price of less than $20,000. That means the college experience that opened doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. Ballard down by 1 as the second quarter begins. They go to the middle, and the shot won't go by Sydney Briggs. And for the most part, it's been one and done for the Bombers, as Harlan doing a nice job on the boards.
Yeah, Harlan's doing a really good job on the boards. That battle is pretty much even, with Harlan 10 rebounds to Ballard's 8, but seems like you're right. It's one and done, no extra opportunities.
One thing Harlan really prides themselves on is offensive rebounds, so you can look for them to really crash the glass on any shots they might miss.
And that's just an added effort, and when teams get offensive rebounds, that is just telling you that they're working harder than you are.
Then Balla with the takeaway. Then Balla being chased by Eiley. Then Balla tries to penetrate. The ball slapped away from her. The swap of turnovers, and it goes back to Ballard. Both teams in offensive frustration, but really tightening up at the defensive end.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a defensive battle, and just to make that point, Ballard at the end of the first quarter, 2 of 12 for 17%. Harlan 2 of 8 for 25%, and neither team really shooting it well from three-point range. Ballard 1 of 7 from three-point range, and Harlan 1 of 4.
So the Bombers taking a timeout, and right now the only difference in this ball game, they've each hit a 3, they've each hit a 2, is the Claire Schmitz free throw.
Well, and it has just been a struggle. It's been a grind the entire first quarter, and I think both of these teams trying to figure out how do you attack, how do you get things adjusted on the offensive end so you can get some open looks. I think on both ends there's a little bit of standing around and not moving that defense to give you some advantage.
And as you pointed out, anybody that plays Ballard knows they're in for a grind. They're giving up less than 30 points a game. The most points they've given up a game is 44, and that was their only loss to North Polk, which they avenged in the regional finals. The Ballard trying to get something going offensive, looking for their third basket, and that shot will not go down, but the follow shot is by Reitz. It's not there either, and the rebound is run down once again by Lynan, doing a good job on the boards for Harlan.
And
Harlan, the 7th seed.
They look to push tempo, but nothing there, so get it back out and reset. And Harlan says that they have about 20 to 25 set plays that they can run at any given time.
And Lyman trying to force up a shot. It's knocked away. It's loose. Diving to the floor to get it is Van Balla, and she gets tied up by Levy. Something that's been a hallmark of the state tournament so far is players diving to the floor. A lot of tie balls. Teams obviously come here and really want it.
Well, it's just, you're right. It's kind of a signature. You've made it this far. We're not going to let one slip by just because we didn't want to get on the ground after a loose ball.
Reach runs the floor well, kicks it to the wing. The shot won't go by Fleshman, but she gets fouled by Van Balla.
Going out a little bit out of control, going after the shooter. And Van Balla runs in to Fleshman, puts her on the line for 3.
13 of 17 from the foul line coming into the tournament. She's headed for Northwestern State of Louisiana to continue her college basketball career.
Yeah, kind of an interesting story. Played on a club team, and a coach from down there saw her play and had connections to another coach in Ballard, called up the coach and said, hey, tell me a little bit about her. They went down for a visit, and she said it took her about 2 minutes to say, yes, I want to come here.
So much of recruiting is connections and who you know, and there's a great example. Her 2 free throws give Ballard the lead at 7-6. It's a takeaway by Reitz and a finish by Reitz. Meg Reitz with her first basket.
Now, Coach Anderson said, you know what, you can't play for him if you don't play defense, and that's why this team only gives up 27, 28 points a game, is because they do play defense.
And they force turnovers, and they average 14 steals a game, and they're probably right on that pace right now. Timeout taken by the Harlan Cyclones as they see themselves down by 3. First time they've trailed by more than a point so far this afternoon.
Good look at the finish there by Reitz after the steal, and they extended that pressure out just a little bit more at three-quarter court, and a little bit of a lazy pass allowed Reitz to slip in and get that steal.
A moment ago, you saw Kelly Anderson on the bench for the Bombers. He's in his 10th year with 189 wins. Coach Anderson, who once famously said to his wife, "Remind me to never coach girls."
And now he says,
"I wouldn't want to coach anybody but girls." And
right.
He said one of the things that he learned from adjusting from boys coaching to girls coaching, he says, "I needed to learn to yell less and teach more."
Yeah. And he said he would never go back and coach boys. He's learned a lot from coaching girls in many different aspects, not only how to coach, but how to treat people as well.
And, of course, he got to learn under a legend at Ballard and Merle Olberding. Underneath, it's Claire Schmitz to score. And once again, it's a one-point game. For Ballard, Eiley, the point guard, looks in, nothing going there. So she'll kick it for Levy.
Yeah, interesting. This is a 4-on-4 matchup because they're face guarding Fleshman and pushing her out, and she just took herself out of the play and let him go 4-on-4.
Reitz there for the rebound and her second straight basket for the Bombers. Three-quarter court pressure by the Bombers. Press beaten with a pass to Ashley Hall. Hall gets crowded. Hall loses it. And Ballard really turning it up on defense and forcing turnovers.
And they've just made the last 2 or 3 possessions very uncomfortable for Harlan.
So since that timeout, Ballard just kind of tightened it up a little bit more on defense, and it has paid off for them. Cyclones set back in the 2-3 zone. That's what both teams are playing to start this afternoon. Quick baseline move by Fleshman. And again, it's a one-and-done situation. And coming out with it is Macy Linen. Linen pressured in the backcourt. Shovels it ahead to Schmitz.
And that's one thing that you have to be careful of is picking up your dribble in a bad spot. You've got to be ready as a teammate to come back and help out.
And you know, one of the problems that a team faces when you face the kind of pressure that Ballard provides is you just can't simulate it in practice. I mean, you can put 10 against 5 and you can't simulate it. But over the zone defense, Claire Schmitz connects on the 3.
Doesn't seem to be bothering Schmitz at all. She's hit a couple from that spot.
Game even for the second time, tied at 11, and the turnover gives Harlan a chance to regain the lead. Harlan 17-5 overall. Last lost back in January to Denison Schleswig. Second time they lost to them, but again, they avenged that one in the regional final. Takeaway by Sydney Briggs.
You know, the initial part of the break was really good. They got the ball to the middle, but then put the ball on the floor, and as the defense retreats, they sneak in and poke it away.
Levy with the drive. Another rebound for Linen. Fast break to a lead feed that's scored by Reagan Wicks.
That's how you run the break. Nice job of drawing the defense and a nice feed lead pass for the layup.
Not many, quote, easy baskets that you get against Ballard, so when you get one, you need to convert it, and they did. Reitz takes it to the rack and scores her third basket in the quarter.
That was a nice job of going up through contact, getting it high off the glass.
Reitz, a 6-foot junior, using her height well there. Going for the tie up that time, but not getting the job done as Eiley. She tried to get the tie, instead got the foul.
Harlan's done a nice job against the three-quarter court pressure, throwing over the top. They've been able to get some breaks, some 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. First
foul called on Eiley this afternoon. Each team with only 3 team fouls. As Schmitz knocks down the free throw, 62% free throw shooter. Has 7 points already in this one.
Her average 11-4, scored as many as 24 in a game this year. Briggs with the rebound. Eiley finds Reitz. Reitz has the shot blocked.
Lynan just doing a little bit of everything. She is a player that kind of patrols the middle and alters a lot of shots that come her way.
A 5'10 senior. So again, nobody on Harlan taller than 5'10. Two starters for Ballard are 6 or better, but that doesn't mean there's not plenty of physicality to go with the Cyclones.
And they said they just needed to be a little bit more physical in this ball game, even though they were undersized. Make up for that in the physicality department.
And there's one of those offensive rebounds. Is trying to take it to the basket is Hall, and it's deflected out of bounds. Kylie Rigby, a 5'7 junior, number 24, onto the floor for Ballard. Substitutions today being brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMT.com. And the turnovers begin to mount up for Harlan.
Yeah, 5-second call, just said good defense, did not allow them to get the ball in from the baseline.
Eiley, who mentioned headed from Minnesota State, brings the ball up. Reitz trying to get free in the middle, which she's done very effectively thus far. Rigby, nothing going there. Again, Ballard doing a good job of being patient when they don't get the fast break. And an inadvertent trip there by Cheek.
You know, in talking with Harlan coach Zach Clausen, he said defensively you'll see a lot of different things. You'll see man, you'll see zone, you'll see a 2-3, a 1-3-1, a 1-2-2. We've seen a little bit of everything. He said he even went as far one time, put 2 in a zone, and 3 players went man.
That's creativity.
I'd like to see that one here today, and we might.
We certainly might. Cyclones doing a good job of keeping the ball out of the paint right now with their 2-3 zone. And Ballard really patiently attacking it.
They are. They're taking their time. They're going to be efficient with their shot selection. They're not going to force anything. And now they're winding down the clock, and Eiley looks over at the bench and says, do we play for one? And coach says yes.
So Harlan with the lead, Ballard playing for the last shot and trying to claim the halftime advantage. And they're going to do just that. And I'm sure a lot of people looked at the second seed against the 7th seed and didn't think we would have a tight game at the half, but we definitely will. Eiley just waiting till about 11 seconds to get the offense in motion. Rigby shovels it in the corner to Reitz, but there's an offensive foul.
Boy, they ran the play that they wanted. That Coach Anderson got up and asked them to run, and they did, except they got the illegal screen down low to get Reitz free.
And so Harlan a chance to have the halftime lead unless they turn it over, and they do. And now with 1.4 seconds, Ballard one more chance to take the halftime lead.
They got to be really quick here. 1.4. See if they can find a quick hitter right before the buzzer.
Eiley inbounds. She wants Levy. She finds her. Levy with a dribble and a block by Hall ends the first half. And what a defensive half it has been. Harlan takes a 14-13 lead to the locker room at halftime.
We knew there was going to be defense. We didn't know it was going to be this much defense, but it's been exciting and it's been a grind for both teams. So adjustments are going to be made in the locker room at halftime on how to find points.
We'll be right back with our halftime show in a moment. You're watching the Iowa Girls Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's top teams and student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's a chance for a small town kid to make it big. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more, to be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can be found only in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes, the coaches on a successful year. And remember, the task ahead of you is never greater than the strength within you.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized teaching.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face.
SWIC feels like a community, like family,
like home. SWIC is a place for you.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Yes, the screen is correct. That's a halftime score. Harlan 14, Ballard 13. And now we'd like to take a moment to once again thank our title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau, for their support of the state basketball tournament. Earlier this week, Tom Florian of the IGHSAU had the opportunity to sit down with Iowa Farm Bureau President Craig Hill for an interview to learn more about Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and student athletes across the state.
And we'd like to welcome you into the halftime show. I'm Tom Florian with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We hope you've enjoyed the first half of action here at today's game. The Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here now in its 102nd edition in Des Moines, a great event for the state of Iowa. And we here at the Girls Union are so thankful for those who support us in putting on this fantastic event, none of which are more important and great as Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Joining me now here at halftime is President of Iowa Farm Bureau, Craig Hill. Craig, good to see you.
Good to see you, Tom.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here. We want to tell the viewers about Iowa Farm Bureau and the support that you provide to the Iowa Girls Union. My first question to you would be, why does the Iowa Farm Bureau invest and support the Iowa Girls Athletic Union?
Oh, well, Tom, the Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union now for 16 years. And we're thrilled, once again, to be a part of what we consider to be the best girls' state tournament in the country. And it does showcase Iowa's elite teams, our elite players, and I would suggest our elite fans as well. But we recognize the pandemic. It has certainly made the trip to qualify for this tournament just a little bit more challenging. And, I would suggest that it's also a testament to the ability of our student athletes to adapt and to persist through these tough times. So we're just so proud of these student athletes.
And you mentioned the student athletes and how they've grown and persevered through this challenging year. Talk about why Iowa Farm Bureau is so invested in supporting Iowa's youth.
Oh, well, Tom, I'm a farmer, but I've always said that our kids here in Iowa are our most important crop. And that's why the Iowa Farm Bureau provides just over $250,000 in scholarships to students each and every year. More than $450,000 over the last 8 years for Iowa's teachers in terms of classroom supplies, as well as our sponsorship of 4-H and FFA and many other youth organizations, but of course the Governor's Scholar Program. And we recognize academic students academics and students in Iowa through that program.
And you mentioned recognizing and providing recognition and scholarship opportunities for youth in Iowa. But these student athletes here on the court today, they're actually taking home some other types of souvenirs, if you will, from the state tournament. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, each player will receive a signature ball, a basketball that coaches and players can sign. Everyone can keep as a keepsake and kind of a reminder of what the journey has been to get them here to the state tournament. So it's an opportunity for us to provide some good memories and keep that keepsake in front of them as they go on as being leaders in Iowa in our communities.
A cool keepsake, most definitely. Well, Craig, we are out of time here at halftime, but I want to thank you again for your support of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and everything that you do. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks once again to Craig Hill and the Iowa Farm Bureau for their continued support of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. When we come back, we'll recap the first half stats for both teams and discuss what we might see from both teams as they take the court in the second half. You're watching the Girls State Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Maybe that's why scientists are trying to recreate real meat. Trying to duplicate the taste and texture, often using more than 20 ingredients. But why tamper with what Mother Nature already perfected? A more complete, high-quality protein, Iowa raised meat is the original health food, with 9 essential amino acids necessary for the human diet. Nutrients that are hard to get from plant-based proteins. Best of all, the real meat on your dinner table tonight was sustainably raised with love by Iowa farm families. As much as people may try, there's just no substitute for the taste, texture, and nutrition of nature's perfect protein. But hey, keep at it. It's flattering that so many products want to be us.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything...
Dental insurance? Costs a fortune, and it covers nothing.
Don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
And that's halftime, folks. I'm Gus Johnson, and it looks like the Clarks are starving. Over to Dad.
He goes for the Casey's app.
2 handmade pizzas.
Incredible! Casey's curbside pickup. What a play! Bringing it home. Boom! He scores with Casey's Pizza. Order any large Casey's pizza. Score another for just $5.99.
Casey's for the win.
Fans' official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Laura, when we take a look at the first half numbers, I think we're going to see some pretty low shooting percentages.
Yeah, neither team really shot it well, but that's a product of the defense that is being played on the floor. And you can see Harlan 39%, Ballard 22%. And look at those three-point shooting percentages, 1 of 9 and 2 of 7. Neither team really getting to the free throw line, but the turnover part of it, 10 turnovers for Harlan. And Ballard has only scored 7 points off those 10 turnovers. If you're turning a team over, you've got to be more productive than that.
So as we look at individual numbers, Brooke Levy with just a three-pointer, and she is their leading scorer at 11 points a game. You know they're going to want more production from her. Josie Fleshman averages 10 points a game, and she's been held to 2 free throws. And on the other side of the ledger for Harlan, Jocelyn Cheek, who has hit 57 threes prior to today, has just 1 three-pointer in this one. She averages 11. And Brecken Van Balla averages 9, and she has not scored. So you got to figure that those are the players these teams will be looking for.
You have to go to your leading scorers to get you started here in the third quarter and be able to get things going, get yourself a little momentum as this game goes into the second half. And so those are the players they're going to look to. You have to believe that they're going to run plays for them to get them set up.
Harlan making their 14th state tournament appearance. They won it here in 2014 and 15, got to the finals in 13, all under Zach Clausen, who is coaching in his 5th state tournament. Kelly Anderson in his 6th state tournament in 10 years for Ballard, their 15th state overall, 2nd in a row. Had a tough one in the quarterfinals last year with a 1-point loss to runner-up Lewis Central.
Yeah, something that has kind of been a little chip on their shoulder and something they would like to be able to erase from their memory.
So back to the turnover situation for Harlan. It's easier said than done, but what do they have to do a better job taking care of the basketball?
They just, number one, have to secure the ball and not be looking a step ahead. They got to get the ball in their hands and then see what are we going to do with the basketball. What's the next move going to be? Maybe run some of their set plays that they run so efficiently. Get them into a groove. But you cannot bring the ball down around your waist and allow the defenders to get in there and tie you up or strip you of that basketball.
Regardless of the score against second-seeded and once beaten Ballard, they'd probably take a 1-point halftime lead, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you come into this and you're the number 7 seed, and everybody goes, oh, well, you should get beat because you're playing the number 2 seed, but they're going to have something to say about that, and their mindset is, we're here, we're in it to win it.
Levy inbounds to Molly Eiley to begin the second half of play. Ballard down by 1 at the break. Eiley looking inside for Thompson, who didn't get to play much in the first half because of a couple of early fouls. Then Balla comes out with the rebound, but it's taken away from her by Levy.
And that's anticipation, getting back defensively, reading the eyes of the passer and getting into the passing lane.
And a 3 drilled by Josie Fleshman. We talked about her getting untracked, and she does to start the second half. And Ballard regains the lead at 16-14. And there's a takeaway for turnover number 12 against Harlan. And there's a finish by Fleshman once again. And very quickly, Harlan coach Zach Clausen will call a timeout.
Don't want to let it get out of hand, and Ballard has come out hot, and they've ratcheted up the defense, really extended that defense, causing problems for Harlan to even get the ball into the front court.
Almost before you get your warm-ups off, they're trying to take the ball away from you.
They're right there with you, and they're going to continue to attack, and once you get a couple of turnovers and convert on those turnovers, that just gives you a little bit more confidence, and might see them gamble a little bit, jump a passing lane here or there, and see if they can get a few more steals and runouts.
So Clausen uses his his second timeout. Anderson has used one of his. And Harlan trying to get something going on the inbound feed from Leinen. Then Balla, slow to the backcourt. Does a good job getting around Levy into the offensive end.
Levy was going to try to sneak around the backside and pick her pocket. And you can see these guards out top. They're helping out. Eiley right there. Every time the ball comes near her, she's dropping off her player and helping out defensively.
Claire Schmitz, nothing going there. Again, the smothering defense of the Bombers, slowing down the Cyclones. Then Balla comes off the screen by Schmitz. The 3 ball is short. Reitz had the rebound but could not control it. And so Harlan gets another chance at it. 6:23 to go in the third. Ballard with a 4-point lead at 18-14. Van Balla kicks for Schmitz, and Schmitz has it taken away from her by Reitz, and Levy pulls it out. Levy with a lead feed for a drive by Eiley. Great pass.
Really good pass, and that's cross court from corner of the half court all the way down to the block, and it was pinpoint right in stride that Eiley was able to finish.
And Ballard has scored the first 7 points of the third quarter.
They seem to be moving their feet a little bit more. They're really aggressive. Hands are active. Covering up everything, talking on defense, helping out.
Hall pitches for Cheek. Her three-pointer is long, and the rebound comes down in the hands of Brooke Levy. Levy, perhaps the most talented player on the Ballard roster, a junior, had a little bit of a scare late in the season when she hurt an ankle, but she's back at full strength.
Heard it against Perry and didn't play against Winterset or Mason City, but looks to be in pretty good form here today.
Eiley has the ball kicked away from her. Nice steal by the combination of Cheek and Van Balla, and Van Balla brings it into the offensive end as Harlan looks for their first points in the third quarter. Almost a takeaway by Reitz. It rolls out of bounds, and it was last touched by the Cyclones. Reitz doing a nice defensive effort.
Linen wanting to make that spin move, and she went down hard. She's holding the back of her head. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but made that spin move, and defense was right there to tie up the ball and knock it out of bounds.
Levy lobs in a miscommunication. She was looking for Fleshman, but Fleshman had cut towards the basket, so an unforced turnover gives Harlan another opportunity to crack the scoreboard here in quarter number 3.
I think that's where you think they're going to zig, but they zag. Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is.
You can see it's getting physical out there, and they're letting them play, so Harlan needs to adjust.
And again, Harlan considers themselves a physical team, though not a tall team. And getting fouled is Claire Schmitz.
Schmitz trying to create for herself. Nice crossover dribble and able to draw the foul on Cassidy Thompson.
And for Thompson, it is her third. So Cassidy Thompson having to go back to the bench. Meanwhile, the inbounds feed is blocked on a nice block effort by Sydney Briggs, who just came in for Thompson. And then the ball off the red. So it's once again Ballard basketball with 4:22 to go midway through the third quarter. And Harlan still looking to get on the board. They've been outscored 7-0 to begin quarter 3. Feed for Briggs. Easy basket. Nice pass from the wing by Reitz.
I think a little bit of a defensive breakdown as Linen went out to cover the corner and nobody rotated over to help her in the post where she vacated.
But Ballard with the first 9 points here in the third quarter. Cheek leaves it short. Eiley rebounds it. Ahead it comes to Fleshman. Fleshman cuts in and has it blocked by Linen.
Linen, the last line of defense, able to get up and get some fingers on that one to block it away.
There's a 5'10 player who plays taller than her listed height.
Yeah, doing a great job of anticipating, getting to the spot, and timing the jump perfectly.
Cheek on the rub. Down the lane comes Hall, and it rolls in. Ashley Hall with her first basket of the game and the first 2 points in the third quarter for Harlan.
I'm not even sure how she kept her footing on that one. She was able to dance her way through the defense and get it to the rim.
Ballard will take a timeout. 3:17 left in quarter number 3. Ballard with their biggest lead of the afternoon at 22-16.
Well, they certainly have come out with a different purpose defensively here in the third quarter and turned up the heat.
One more game to go in the 4A quarterfinals, and that'll be the matchup right after this one between the 3rd seed, Dallas Center Grimes, and the 6th seed, Bondurant Farrar. Earlier today, top seed Glenwood with a 79-57 victory over Dubuque Wahlert Catholic, and then North Scott, the defending champs, knock off the 4th seed Central DeWitt 58-45.
So some good matchups thus far, and this is another one this afternoon, and I think the next one will be equally challenging for both squads.
I think really good matchups up and down in the Class 4A bracket.
Caitlin Linden on the floor for Harlan for the first time, 5'8" junior. Substitution brought to you by IMT Insurance. Reitz has had the hot hand, this time in and out, but right there for the putback is Sydney Briggs.
That was textbook what Briggs did. She kicked the ball out, then got herself in rebounding position. When she rebounded, she kept that ball right up above her head and popped right back up for the score.
And a tie ball, and this time the possession error is going to keep it at this end of the court, the Harlan end. Caitlin Linden, a 5'8" junior, inbounds. Rachel Wicks, who played in the first half, has the basketball. Ashley Hall, who just scored her first basket of the day, gives it up. And a foul's called on Eiley. Eiley with her second foul. That is only the second foul called in the entire third quarter.
And you would think, as aggressive as Ballard is being, you would think there would be more fouls being called, but they do such a great job of moving their feet and staying in good defensive position.
Well, Kelly Anderson said he really likes his team's defense, and why not? They're one of the best in the state, giving up less than 30 points a game.
Well, it'll win you ball games, and it's won them a lot of ball games this season.
The shot winds up short by Schmitz. The rebound taken by Eiley. Three try by Fleshman. Levy tries to save and can't. Harlan, with 2:12 to go in the third, will inbound.
Fleshman, when she received that ball, was moving away from the basket, so I think her momentum was not where it needed to be on the catch to get those feet planted to get a good shot off.
Fleshman out, replaced by Lily Hillebrand. Hillebrand wearing number 44 for the Bombers, dressed in white, trimmed in red. Then Balla gets into the offensive end. Harlan struggling to score here in the third quarter. The lob in the middle, the turnaround over the outstretched arm of Breitz by Linen won't go. Rebound is put back, though, by Schmitz. She's so aggressive around the boards, averages 8 rebounds a game. Really an outstanding rebounder.
Yeah, doing a great job of battling through contact, and it has been a struggle down low in the block for Harlan.
Who says that you can't be 5'10" and be a good rebounder? She disproves that theory.
Well, it's just anticipating and looking at where the ball's coming off the rim and putting yourself in a good position to grab the board.
Minute 12 left in the third quarter. Again, the Bombers being patient. The ball back in Eiley's hands. A 4-year starter at point guard for Ballard. Good spot on the baseline. And the three ball kicks out and into the hands of Reitz. And trying to stop her is Schmitz.
You know, there's another good example of weak side rebounding. That Reitz was able to get in position as everything was overloaded to the right side. And the shot went up, and she crashed the boards and got herself in the right spot to pull that rebound.
Final minute, third quarter. Ballard hangs on to a 6-point lead and tries to add to it. They've led by as many as 8 twice. Eiley looks in at the zone defense being deployed by the Cyclones.
As long as they're going to sit back in that, Ballard's going to step out and hold for the last shot. They've had the ball at the end of every quarter, been able to get the last shot before the horn sounds.
But have not been able to convert on, one of the two or any of them?
I think they got the one.
The one out of two. Eiley dribbles. Interesting to note that they went to a summer camp before her freshman year because Coach Clausen had to prove to his team she'd be the point guard of the future. She proved it in the summer camp.
Yeah, he said once they got there and played a game or two, they all went, Yeah, she's our point guard of the future.
And again, Ballard with the chance at the last possession, and they don't get the job done. And so Harlan has it with 4.5 seconds to go in the third.
See if they can push it up and get a bucket.
Lynan throws it to midcourt. It's caught there by Claire Schmitz. She'll pump at the horn and miss. But a good effort by Harlan with only 4.5 seconds to push it forward. They got a shot. And at the end of 3, Ballard leads by a score of 24-18 over Harlan in this hard-fought defensive struggle. We'll be right back with more basketball. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fareway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices. Fareway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
Hey fans, as a reminder, Central College has a tuition price less than $20,000. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. Ballard outscores Harlan 10-5 in the third quarter to open a 6-point lead as we begin the fourth. Jocelyn Cheek trying to bring it up. It has been held well in check. She averages 11. She's got just 3 thus far for Harlan, and they need to get her some shots from the three-point line to get back into this one, you would think. Lynan takes it inside, gets her own rebound, misfires again, and the rebound rolls out to Brooke Levy.
It's been physical all game long, and this quarter starts off with no exception. Battle in the paint.
Cassidy Thompson back onto the court for Ballard, playing with 3 fouls. Eiley looks in against the zone. Ballard can certainly afford to be patient now with the lead, but still lots of time to go.
And Harlan may have to come out and kind of force the issue a little bit, make them play, get them into motion rather than just passing around the outside of the zone.
Again, Ballard just nothing going inside, so it comes back out to Eiley. She will restart the offense. Levy looks inside.
Little triangle game over on the right side of the floor, inside out. But a little stagnant on offense as well as defense.
And so right now, Ballard content to be very patient, playing with a 6-point lead.
Yeah, and they're going to bring it out. I think they're going to say to Harlan, come on out. And Coach Clausen is saying, yep, get out there and let's play.
Time to come and do that, and they do. Levy, baseline to Thompson, blocked by Schmitz.
What a great recovery by Schmitz to get over and get that block.
The only thing I question about Schmitz is her height. They list her at 5'10". She plays so much bigger.
She really does, and a lot of that is just understanding the game, and you may be a little undersized, but if you anticipate and maybe see things happen before they happen, you're going to be in the right spot all the time.
Van Bala against the trap. She tries to get it to Schmitz, but the pass is intercepted. And that is the 15th turnover against the Harlan Cyclones. Again, remember, this is a Ballard team that has held 12 of their opponents below 30 points.
Well, they're on pace to do that again here in this ball game.
Shot short by Fleshman.
And you can't let too many of these opportunities, if you're Harlan, slip by.
Lynan does not let that one slip by. It's a 4-point game.
That was a nice move down low by Lynan, and now a foul out on the wing. So looked over at the Harlan bench, and Coach Clausen said, all right, come out and let's play a little defense. We've inched a little bit closer. Now let's see if we can get a steal, and Ballard's going to have to take care of the basketball now.
Foul on Cheek is her second. Inside 5 minutes, fourth quarter. To the baseline goes Levy, and she's pushed.
So Harlan coming out a little bit more aggressively out of that zone. And Ballard goes into attack mode. Now they're starting to draw fouls on Harlan.
Schmitz gets the foul. 3 team fouls called against Ballard. 2 against Harlan, so nobody close to the bonus quite yet. Reitz had a notion. She decides not to go. Eiley for 3.
That's a big bucket. That's exactly what Ballard needed. Patient. They all out on the perimeter. Looked at it when they caught it. Didn't pull the trigger, but Eiley caught it in rhythm and knocked it down.
And again, Ballard comes full court, as they do throughout the game. Van Balle tries a 3 to answer. Van Balle with the miss, and the rebound taken by Eiley.
It was a good look. It would have been a good answer, but nobody underneath of her team to rebound.
Reitz gets double teamed. Again, the Cyclones now coming out, chasing the basketball, trying to double team every possession. And a timeout will be taken by Ballard. It comes with 3:50 left in regulation, and Ballard holding a 7-point lead. More basketball coming up in a moment. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to the Well, where this defensive struggle between Ballard and Harlan has never seen more than 8 points separate the teams, and Ballard's had a couple of 8-point leads. Right now it's a 7-point lead.
And here in the last 3:50, I think you're going to see maybe some of those defenses that Coach Zach Clausen told us that he sometimes pulls out of his back pocket. It could be a 2-3, it could be a 1-2-2, 1-3-1. May see some trapping. May see something different. They've got to force some turnovers, and they're going to have to come out and force the action. They can't afford to let Ballard sit out at the half-court line.
Harlan's last lead was at the end of the first quarter at 6-5. At halftime at 14-13. Second half, Ballard came out and scored the first 7 points of the third quarter, and they've been playing ahead ever since. Reitz hands to Levy. This is Fleshman. Eiley choked off.
And nobody really looking at the hoop right now. They're just looking to try to play keep away.
And perhaps get to the foul line if fouls mount up more than they have so far, as Ashley Hall commits just her first. And again, that is only the third foul called against Harlan. So it'll be a while before that occurs. Cassidy Thompson with 3 fouls back on for Ballard. Replaces Sydney Briggs. Substitutions today brought to you by IMT Insurance.
Reitz on top. She's chased by Leinen and fouled by Leinen.
Yeah, if they don't get a steal initially, then they're going to go out and foul. They're going to try to get them into the bonus as quickly as possible.
Of course, that occurs on the 7th foul.
I think they're giving themselves a chance to get a steal, and if not, then foul.
And there is the foul out on the perimeter.
So a couple more before they get into that bonus situation.
Wicks got that foul. And so, again, that's, as you say, the 5th. And once again, the touch foul. There's number 6. So on the next one, Harlan can do what they hope to do, and that is get Ballard to the line. Ballard, a 74% free throw shooting team, but sometimes you just don't have much of a choice.
Yeah, you got to manage the game from here on out, lengthen it as much as possible, and put them on the line, hoping that they don't convert, and you can pull the rebound and you can take advantage of the missed free throws.
Thompson is a 64% free throw shooter. Ballard would love the ball in the hands of Brooke Levy, who is a better than 80% free throw shooter, but Cassidy Thompson does her job there, scoring her first point. A 3-year starter for Ballard, winding up her career here at the state tournament. Thompson hits them both. And with that, Ballard has their biggest lead.
Now they're going to have to look to try. They don't necessarily need the three-point shots yet, but they need to be quick with this possession and try to get some points out of it.
Wicks penetrates, can't finish, but there to try to clean it up is Schmidt. She can't get the job done the first time nor the second time, and the rebound is secured by Meg Reitz. 2.5 left to play.
Had some good looks at it and just could not knock them down. And Claire Schmitz had a couple of looks, but they were contested. Just didn't have the right shoulder angle, didn't get those feet squared, but pulled the rebounds, gave herself a couple of chances to try to score.
Hall with their second foul. Jocelyn Cheek, number 5, comes back in. And if Harlan ever needed Cheek to get hot, and she, when she catches it in rhythm, can be tough, it would be now.
Well, and she is the one that they want to have the ball in her hands from beyond the arc. As we had mentioned, most of her shots, majority of her shots, over 80%, come from beyond the arc. So get her set up.
School record 57 threes this year. Van Balla sees something going inside, though, and she scores very quickly. And that's one of the few times that Harlan has been able to beat the defense down the floor and score.
A couple of passes over the top along the sideline, and Van Balla saw the opening and got the quick score.
And Zach Clausen will call a timeout. It comes with 2 minutes and 24 seconds to play. Ballard up 31-22. And Harlan trying to figure out a way to fight their way back in it.
Well, they got the timeout. They got the quick score. So now you're going to see them probably come out, full court pressure, get the quick foul, and again then see if they can push the ball down the floor and score.
Both coaches, 2 timeouts remaining.
You know, talk about state tournament connections, and these teams have been here before, but Zach Clausen, his mother-in-law, and his daughter Bren, her grandmother, played on the Farragut state championship team in 1971. They're going to be the 50-year team that they honor here at the state tournament. They've been doing that over the last couple of years, honoring a 50-year state champion, and Farragut is this year's recipient of that. Zach Clausen's mother-in-law played on that team.
And isn't that one of the great stories of the girls' state tournament? And that is the connectivity from generation to generation.
That's why we all love the Iowa girls' state basketball tournament.
This is the 102nd edition of the girls' state tournament. Eiley falls down trying to dribble against the double team, and Harlan forces the turnover.
They let play go, and Eiley tried to drive up against the defense, getting bumped. Lost the ball out of bounds, so that's the turnover that Harlan was looking for.
Leinen is back in for Harlan as Cheek inbounds.
Oh, they got it right back to her, wanted her to let it fly, but well covered.
She's not getting any daylight at all. There's a block by Reitz on the shot,
by Wicks. And again, without a steal, you look for a quick foul here. And there it comes. And the foul's on Hall. So let's now maybe select our player of the game, Laura. And there are a lot of candidates for Ballard. A lot of them on the defensive end of the court, by the way.
Well, I'd have to say we're going to look at Meg Reitz. 6 points in this ballgame, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a couple of blocks as well. And you mentioned the defensive side of things. And so Meg Reitz is going to be the player of the game.
She's been very active. Fans Casey's is proud to sponsor the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. And today's player of the game, Casey's, is at the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering on our local teams and fans and making sure there's fresh pizza ready, win or lose. Sign up for Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's Cash, fuel discounts, and donations to local schools. And once again, the Bombers go back to the foul line.
So
then Ballard with their third foul.
You had mentioned that Ballard holds their opponents right to about 28 points a ball game. So far in this ball game, only given up 22. That's good enough for number 1 in 4A. That is good for number 2 in all classes in the state of Iowa. So this team is going to win ball games based on their defense.
And you saw a shot of Kelly Anderson. He and his staff have really constructed a very impressive defense that's going to be tough on anybody they play at state. Linen on the miss, and the rebound taken by Thompson. And Schmitz with the foul, and that will send Brooke Levy to the line. Levy, who returns next year for Ballard, and that has to be very comforting to Coach Kelly Anderson. He starts 3 seniors. The other junior starter is Reitz, and so Levy and Reitz give Ballard a nice core for next year, but they're not thinking about next year. Maybe they're thinking who's next, and it would be Bondurant Farrar or Dallas Center Grimes, the 6th seed against the 3rd seed coming up next. For Levy, 5 points in this one. Ballard will use a timeout with 1:23 to play and an 11-point lead. And we will take a break as you are watching action live from Wells Fargo Arena. This is the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau and the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Ballard in front by 11 in this defensive struggle. With Laura Leonard, Larry Morgan with you at the state tournament, and what a great atmosphere despite the fact there's social distancing, and it's a shame due to the pandemic that the crowd has to be reduced as much as it is, but those here seeing some good shows, some good games.
They have, and been very supportive and very vocal, and they've been loud enough. Both of these schools' fan section have been very loud, and you wouldn't think that it was a situation where there was limited seating, because they are excited to be here and watching their teams play basketball.
And what a good job that Gene Berger and the Girls Union has done just to pull this off in the midst of a pandemic.
I know, and you and I walked in this morning and we kind of looked around. There was nobody in the stands, and you just said, boy, this is just it's a different feeling walking in here. But then once the fans started filing in, and you kind of get that state tournament atmosphere back.
Schmitz scores for Harlan. They will use a timeout. 1:02 to play. And Harlan back to within 9. And I know that Gene Berger would say the most important thing is the experience that the players get from playing in the state tournament. And despite the fact that not as many people are here as they'd like in the stands, I think the players are getting the same kind of high-quality experience they've come to expect.
I think they are, too. That part has not changed, and it will always be here, a big part of the state tournament, but things that are missing are some of the pageantry, some of the halftime shows that we get with the dance teams, those kinds of things. But everything else that the players are going to experience, that part of it has not fallen off at all during the pandemic.
So high hopes for the 103rd edition of the state tournament next March, that things are back to normal.
I think they're already planning that, and they're planning for everything to be normal. Yet you always have to wonder if there might be something that comes out of this state tournament that might stick around, that they might go, oh, hey, maybe that's a better way to do things, and that might stick around. But I think we'll be back next year to what we know and love about the girls' state basketball tournament.
So play resumes with 1:02 to play. Harlan using the timeout to set up their defense. They still have one remaining. Reeds with the inbounds feed to Eiley, and that's a pretty good person to have the ball in her hands. And she's thinking a little tough to foul. Finally run down by Hall, and Eiley will go to the line. And we give Molly Eiley some credit. She doesn't always have the biggest numbers, although she does average 5.6 rebounds and 9 points a ball game, but she just really runs this offense very well.
And that's what you want out of the point guard, and you had mentioned it. They had to convince the rest of the players she was going to be the point guard of the future, and they did that as a freshman at a summer camp, and she's held that position and has really grown into that role as the floor general.
And all she will do is leave Ballard as the all-time assist leader and bring her basketball career to Minnesota State.
And they're getting a good one, and she also just pulled down her 500th rebound as well. So from a guard position, pulling down that many career rebounds is pretty impressive.
And she has 9 points, by the way. Leading her team in scoring as Van Balla scores, and Harlan will use their last timeout at 46 seconds.
Still some strategy here by Harlan, and going to make a few quick adjustments, see if they can lengthen the game a little bit more.
We'll be right back as you're looking in on live action from the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Led at halftime 14-13. But Ballard has really controlled the second half, scoring the first 7 points of the third quarter and not looking back.
Right from the beginning of the third quarter, they took control of this ball game, and they set the tone with their defense.
And they have outscored Harlan. Ballard has 21-13 here in the second half. And so once again, Ballard will go to the line. They'll improve their record to 22-1 and get ready to face the winner of Bondurant, Farrar, and Dallas Center Grimes. Eiley back at the free throw line, where she's perfect in 4 tries today, make it 5. Caitlin Linen will come back onto the floor for Harlan. Substitutes today have been brought to you by IMT Insurance.
And she's coming in for Claire Schmidt, who had a nice ball game here, a double-double, 11 points, 11 rebounds.
The 3 ball is short, and yet another tie ball. So many of those today as these teams have been battling and so competitive. And give Harlan all kinds of credit for doing the best they can against this outstanding Bomber defense.
You know, they hung with them, and they guess we're going to get a foul out of that. I thought it was a jump ball, but it looks like Eiley's going to go to the line.
One official did indicate that, but the other disagreed, and so Eiley's back at the line.
You know, Harlan hung with Ballard for the first half, and they went toe-to-toe with them. Then, when the third quarter started, Ballard had made some nice adjustments at halftime and came out and really turned up the fire on the defensive end.
And Harlan will now send Jordan Hazy into the lineup. Also there is number 41, Bryn Clausen, the coach's daughter. And we'll try to pick up some of the others as Hiley knocks down the free throw, and she will exit with a team best 12 points today. And do you know that Ballard has not gotten a basket in the fourth quarter?
All free throws?
He's been sent to the line. Nothing but free throws.
It started early on because Harlan was not in the bonus and they had to foul a lot. And Ballard was willing to just hold the ball and not take a shot.
Julie Scheckinger puts up a shot and gets fouled by Ashley Wiestenberg. Macy Schmitz also on the court for Harlan, seeing her first action as both coaches trying to get everybody into the action. For Ballard, Rigby's played before, Wiesenberg in for the first time. And one more for Julie Scheckinger. Final seconds. And Rigby will bring it ahead. This is Paige Noe. And no effort or interest in a shot for the Bombers right now. They will take this one by a final score of 38-27. Once again, it is the Bomber defense holding an opponent under 30 for the 13th time this year. That prevails in a 38-27 victory over the Harlan Cyclones. And now, let's get ready for the awards presentation as we get ready to send it over to Rex Baker. He's got the awards presentation to the Harlan Cyclones and the Ballard Bombers.
Please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross. Congratulations to Coach Zach Clausen and the Cyclones from Harlan on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Molly Eiley will advance her team to the next round on the official bracket at center court. Ballard fans, your team advances to the semifinals.
So Ballard advances with a 38-27 victory over Harlan. And again, a terrific defensive effort by Ballard, that suffocating pressure defense.
Right at their season average as far as defensive points allowed, and so another great performance that advances them into the semifinals. And good bounce scoring as well for Ballard, and credit Harlan. They hung with them for about 2.5 quarters, and then that defense, as far as Ballard, just turned up the heat, and they were too much.
Big third quarter start for the Bombers. They scored the first 7 points.
Yeah, they did, and that set the tone for the rest of the game. That got the separation, and then they were able to do what they wanted to do.
And so, again, with 12 points, Eiley leading the way for Ballard. With 11 points, Claire Schmitz, the leading scorer for the Harlan Cyclones. So that's the story from this one for the 4A quarterfinals as Ballard joins North Scott and Glenwood in the semifinals. And again, waiting for the winner of Bondurant Farrar and Dallas Center Grimes. That's coming up next. On behalf of our color analyst, Laura Leonard, and our producer, Evan Taylor, and all of us here in Des Moines, I'm Larry Morgan. Thank you for watching our live coverage of the 2021 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.